It's just game one. It's just game one. It's just game one. We lost freaking game one to the Orlando Magic. You the one seed. You at home. The Eastern Conference runs through you and you lost the game to the Magic? What are we doing, man? Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't think there's one positive word to describe the Pistons' game one loss against the Orlando Magic. You could say embarrassed. You could say disappointing. You could say deflating. You could say they got punked. And that's a clean version of how I really feel. They got punked. I mean, there's so many bad things to say about that game.
Hey, what up, Buff said? Shout out Buff Sports, man. Appreciate it.
Little people, big people, all people. Welcome to Buffed Up Sports. I want to thank God for another opportunity to talk sports, and I want to thank you, the listener, for tuning in to me talking sports. Make sure you go to buffedupsports.com for links to my social media platforms, ways to donate to the show, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss the newest content. That all being said, hope you enjoy. I mean, they got crapped on. They got punked. They got destroyed, might be going overboard. But, I mean, they never had momentum, man. They never had the momentum. I mean, they never led. The one seed never led once in the game. You're at home. And I'm gonna talk about Little Caesars Arena in a second, but they didn't even, like, for once the crowd was probably a legit sellout. I don't think there was one empty seat in there. And y'all did that in front of y'all home fans? Y'all should be embarrassed right now. Seriously. Go to the drawing board right now, please. There's so much to discuss. So much that went wrong. I mean, where do we start? We could start with Jalen Duren. You know, first time All-Star this past season. Jalen Duren got outplayed by Wendell Carter Jr.? No disrespect to Wendell Carter Jr., but you got outplayed by him? Come on, JD. JD, you supposed to be the dog. It's dog pound and you the dog. How you gonna be the dog if you ain't bring that dog to the fight? And I mean, out of all people, you let Wendell Carter go crazy on you. Not because, I don't care. I'll speak the truth right now. I think Jalen Duren is a better player. In fact, matter of fact, I know Jalen Duren's a better player than Wendell Carter Jr. But all right, let's take basketball out of it for a second, right? Wendell Carter took your girl, JD. He took your. Yeah, it's like that. Everybody talking about, oh, Angel Reese just don't like the Detroit Pistons, blah, blah, blah. Why she hating on the Pistons? She ain't hating on the Pistons. Her and Jalen Duren used to go together. Now she with Wendell Carter. So you would think, like, I'm going against my ex-new man tonight. I'm about to bring it. Wendell Carter probably had that same mindset. Like, yeah, I'm about to show him. You know, in fact, I'm about to show my girl she made the right move. And you know what? After game one, Wendell Carter proved to not only his girl, Angel Reese, but to the world. Angel Reese probably did make the right move. At least that's how I looked after game one. So come on, Duren. You my boy, but we got to come better than that game too, dog. We got to come better than that game too. The Magic had rhythm. I mean, a flow to their offense. They had 5 different players who hit double digits in scoring. The Pistons had 2. With one of those guys dang near dropping 40. That's not good. They had 5 guys go for double digits, and we only could get 2? That's hurtful, right? The Pistons supposed to be known for defense. They didn't play a lick of it last night. It felt like Orlando was hitting everything. And then even we had bad turnovers the minute we'll get momentum going. Like, come on, man. As I said, there was one guy who almost had 40. The smooth operator, Cade Cunningham. He showed up, 39 points. But I think Cade ran out of gas at the end. And you can't fault him. He ran out of gas at the end. This is only his, third or fourth game, I want to say, since he missed time with a collapsed lung. Of course, talk about this more in a second, not playing for a week after only playing, 3 games? Yeah, so he played 3 games to finish the season. Then he had a 1-week rest. And then you play a playoff game 39 minutes. That's the most he's played since the collapsed lung. I can't even fault Cade for that because, as we know, a collapsed lung, that ain't just no walk it off. That's a medical thing, right? So not only that, he got to get his rhythm back. He got to get his flow back, which I said I'll talk about this more in a second, but I'll talk about it now. Do I think the rest had something to do with how the Pistons came off flat? You can argue that. Let's look at the Orlando Magic for a second. They didn't look that great against Philly in the 7-8 playing game, right? But then for the 8th seed playing game against Charlotte, a team that a lot of people feared on the down low, Charlotte got embarrassed by the Magic. I mean, a 30-point game. The Magic was whooping them by 30. So the Magic came out against the Hornets on Friday night hot. Of course, they rode that momentum into Sunday's matchup, right? Again, we talking about the Pistons, a 60-win team. They had a great season, no doubt about it. However, they ain't played in a week. A lot of guys is coming off injuries towards those last few games of the season, and then you give them a week rest. Not trying to make excuses, but did that play a part of it? Sure, absolutely. But that's not an excuse. It's not an excuse because you're supposed to be the better team at the end of the day. This is the playoffs. There's no excuses at the end of the day. My next problem, JB. JB Bickerstaff, if I had to pick a coach of the year, is him. I don't know why they keep trying to give it to Joe Mazzulla like he ain't been gifted good team after good team. Sure, Boston looked very great this year without Jason Tatum for majority of the season. However, going into this season, a lot of people didn't think that the Pistons would be a number 1 seed. There was people talking about the Pistons won't even make the playoffs, ESPN. And they won 60 games, and you're not going to give credit to the coach? A coach who took a team that was a 14-win team 2 years ago, went on a 28-game losing streak 2 years ago, and now they a 60-win team with the first seed in the playoffs, and he shouldn't get credit for that? What are we doing? Of course JB Bickerstaff should get credit for that. I say it again. That is your coach of the year. But in game 1, he didn't look like it. He got out-coached. He got out-coached by Jamal Mosley, a coach who they said gonna get fired after this season no matter what. They coach just doing stuff probably because he know his job gone after this season. JB, that's the coach you going against. And you couldn't out-coach him? Oh, my goodness. I didn't like the rotations. I felt like Asar Thompson should have got more minutes, especially in the second half. They rested Cade with 5 minutes left. I'm like, what are we doing? Again, what did Duren really bring to the game last night? Maybe it was time to look at Paul Reed. There's people complaining about Dennis Jenkins saying he didn't do too much. You should have looked at Sasser. I don't know about that. I will say I don't think we should have brought LeVert in. I'll say that much. Karis LeVert, he's a veteran, sure, but at the same time, we all know how Karis LeVert plays at moments. Kevin Huerter, I think he should have got more looks over Duncan Robinson at moments. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I don't know. The bigger question is, though, what we need to focus on right now is, do I think the Pistons still win this series? Absolutely. And maybe we needed that loss because that was a loss like Orlando, again, the Pistons supposed to be the better team, right? That loss was to say, that was Orlando's way of sending the message like, look, we know we the underdog, but we ain't no scrubs. So I just really hate that the Pistons crapped game one at the end of the day. And I hate it so much because there was already doubt going into the playoffs saying the Pistons is the team to not be afraid of. The Pistons are a team that are frauds, even though they're number one seed. All these things are getting said about them, right? That the Pistons ain't this, the Pistons ain't that. And I thought they were going to go in there and shut the doubters up, but I mean, they just made them even louder. I can't even turn on the sports radio today because I can't go on Twitter. I can't do nothing right now because all I'm seeing is the Pistons got dogged on. They supposed to be the dog pound. They got dogged on by the Orlando Magic? Terrible. I mean, the Pistons, in my opinion, got one of the best theme songs, post-game win songs in the NBA by G-Mac Cash, known as You Know the Pistons Won Again. But there's a team called the Orlando Magic that has a very catchy song too, and I'm starting to hate it already after game one. You know the Orlando Magic. Ooh, it's a catchy song, but it ain't hitting like You Know the Pistons Won Again. But you know what? I didn't want to hear the Orlando Magic song all series, and now I got to hear it. Now we got to go at least 5 games. When I did say this is probably a 5-game series, I didn't think we was going to do game 1 like that, though. I said, let Orlando take one at home. We'll finish them off at the crib game 5. Now we got to win 4 straight if we want to finish it in 5. I don't want to play too many games this round. It's the first round. You still got matchups against potentially like a Cleveland and the New Yorks and the Boston still coming up this playoffs. And you gonna waste the game on the Magic? Game 1? But yes, do I think the Pistons can still win this series? Absolutely. It's going to be a gritty one, though. It's going to be a gritty one. Even if you look at the regular season matchup, the Magic was always a team that would give the Pistons trouble at times. Like, they not scrubs. They're a sneaky good team. I just think the Pistons need to come game 2 more prepared. You know, the streets are saying that you can guarantee it. Shout out Rashid. But guaranteed we win in game 2. We will win game 2. Do I believe we will win game 2? Yes. And I'm going to be the first to say it. Maybe it's my fault. I done been to probably half the playoff games since they've moved to LCA. In fact, the Pistons ain't won a playoff game since 2008. I went to the Palace in 2016 against the Cavs to game 4. I went to game 4 against the Bucks in 2019. I went to game 3 and 4 against the Knicks last year. They done lost all 4 of them. Then I went to game 1 this year. Maybe I am the jinx. I don't know. I'm not going to game 2. So if they win game 2, I'm probably not going the rest of the playoffs, y'all. But if they lose game 2, not only we in trouble, but there's even more bigger fish to fry than me saying I ain't going to another playoff game, because you absolutely right. You might not be going to another one until next season, buddy. Yo, what are we doing? I do think we win this series. So we just got to lock in. I don't know if it was first game jitters or what. They got to come with a game 2. I think JB needs to have a better coaching game. That was another thing with JB. JB usually, you got to be careful what you ask for. JB Bickerstaff usually uses his coach's challenge at like the worst times because he'll use them in the first half. And I'm like, dang, that's when you need it in the second half. And then yesterday, or in game 1, he didn't use them until the second half when the game was kind of like momentum was gone. So I wish he had to use them a little earlier, because if you get it right, you get another one. So, and it was a bunch of calls. I'm like, JB, what are we doing? Why are we not challenging that? And then there was some, I'm like, you don't need to challenge that. You go with the call. But there was some obvious ones, and that's the key to the challenge. It got to be obvious to overturn. It was some obvious ones in there. Last thing I want to talk about, the shirt gate. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about shirt gate. Where are the shirts? Where are the shirts? Bro, doesn't matter. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing at the end of the day. It really don't. And let me say this. This is my last time speaking on it, because I'm tired of already talking about it. I'm tired of reading about it, tired about seeing about it. Everybody's talking about your crowds in Oklahoma for the Thunder, Oklahoma City for the Thunder, San Antonio for the Spurs. Everybody wears the shirts, right? Now, did their fans get bullied into wearing the shirts? Absolutely, they did. But let's be real here for a second. Detroit, the city of Detroit, is known for fits. We are known for being one of the best dressed cities in the world. So when I say this, hear me out. Who's dropping the fit in San Antonio? Who's dropping the fit in Oklahoma City? Right? I mean, I can even go to the other major cities in the U.S. New York, LA, at those playoff games. Do you see people wearing the shirts like that? They gonna have on a fit. And this is where I give Pistons fans in recent, especially in the last year or so, I give them props. Because I used to always say, the Pistons, when it came to fans, I thought had the worst fans. And I say that because if just speaking on Detroit, if you go to a Red Wings game, they're wearing Red Wings gear. If you go into a Tigers game, they're wearing Tigers gear. You go to a Lions game, you best to believe it's Lions gear. But if you go to a Pistons game, you ain't seeing not a lick of red, white, and blue because you seeing the most random colors, people dropping fits. Like, this is for the gram tonight. This is for me to spot who my next boo about to be. This is, I'm wearing this because I'm going to the club right after the game. I'm going to the casino after the game. I could care less about the game. If I'm a girl at the game with my girls, we taking pictures together as this going to gram, you know? And if I'm a dude, man, I'm just trying to drop a fit so I can get them girls that's about to be on the gram later. Like, that's a Pistons game. At least 2 years ago, that was. Now you go to a game, especially at game one, you saw everybody for the most part wearing Pistons gear. There wasn't too many fits out there, right? So you got to cut them some slack. You got to cut Detroit some slack. Detroit is known for being well-dressed. I'll be honest with you. Look it. Let me show y'all this. I got a shirt. Did I wear the shirt? Nope. You know why? I ain't feel like it. I already had my Chauncey Billups jersey on. I had a bigger message to share. Free Chauncey. I mean, it ain't fair. Rip Hamilton at the game, Ben Wallace at the game. Where Chauncey at, man? Free Chauncey. Now, that's it. That's it, though. Don't get it twisted. I've been to playoff games where I wore a shirt. I've been to playoff games where I didn't wear the shirt, obviously. Ain't nothing changed. They still lost them all. That's why I said maybe I don't need to go to no more. But look, man. It's bigger fish to fry at the end of the day. I always say the phrase small details. Small details. The shirts, small details. You feel me? Very small detail. Just listen, man. Don't be getting all up in arms about the shirts one way or another. Like, you know what? I'm not even mad at fans that say they want to see people wear the shirts because, again, we got to see how cool it looked with San Antonio OKC. Does it look cool? It does. It does. So I get why fans are like, wear the shirts, right? But then don't get mad at people for not wanting to wear a shirt. This is America at the end of the day. That's what people are always quick to say. It's America. It's America. Do whatever you want. You don't want to wear a shirt? Don't wear a shirt. No different than if I want to yell the whole game, I'm going to yell the whole game. If you want to sit there, be quiet, you sit there, be quiet. If you want to stand the whole game, you stand the whole game. If you want to sit down, you sit down. Now, if you're talking to me, you better put some respect on my name because it's people who complaining about shirts and complaining about the Pistons doing this and that. Y'all ain't sit through a 14-loss season like me. Y'all didn't get season tickets the year K missed majority of the season with a calf surgery. Like, don't talk to me about being a fan. Don't talk to me when the Pistons went from the time I was in kindergarten until the time I'm out of college at this point. What was I, 23 when they won a playoff game? We talking 18 years of my life. My whole life in school, I got bullied because the Pistons was trash. And I still wore their gear anytime I could. People laughed at me, teased me. You know the whole works. So don't talk to me about being a fan when I'm as real as it gets. Because the same people talking about you should have done this, you should have done that. Shut up. You don't know nothing. So look, I'm going to close it out by saying this, man. The shirts is the least of y'all worries. We got embarrassed by the Orlando Magic. We need to worry about winning game 2 right now. In the words of Allen Iverson, we talking about practice. We talking about shirts. Not the game. Not the game that we got dogged on. Not the game we got outplayed, got out coached, got out hustled. Not that. We talking about shirts? Hey, get out my face. Thank you so much for checking out Buffed Up Sports. Go to buffedupsports.com for the latest episodes, my social media links, and ways to support the show. Please subscribe so you'll never miss the latest with Buffed Up Sports. And make sure you send Buffed Up Sports to your peoples so they can be entertained just like you. Now, just remember to spread love. Keep your chest out. Hold your head up. Show off them pretty teeth. Don't you worry about a thing. Until next time, y'all be good out there, and God bless you all. Peace.